All right. Here we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Rant. Today's subject, we're going to discuss about live streaming versus live gigs and what makes sense for today's DJs. Now, for those know that live streaming has been pretty much setting the standards for DJs who either not able to play out in gigs or who just don't want to for other particular reasons and prefer to be in the confines of their home studio. Whereas you have DJs who still prefer being out with a crowd, playing the music, and let whoever is there to listen in, dance, and enjoy themselves. Now, since this channel is always for young and upcoming DJs, I want to try to do a little compare and contrast on live stream and live gigs. Do a little pros and cons. I'm gonna make sure I don't try to be too long, and to give young and upcoming DJs a a roadmap, so to speak, on where they want to, which route they want to take. So let's get to it. What's up, everyone? I happen to be House That Speaks. I have been a DJ since 2017, and I do describe myself not only as an underground DJ, since I mostly play live stream via Twitch. I do consider myself a live stream DJ. Now, don't get me wrong, I have played out on gigs before and currently still do it from time to time. So I know that I can give my young and upcoming DJs just a little sneak peek on which route they would like to pursue, whether as just going strictly live stream or strictly try to do gigs. So what we're gonna do here, we're going to throw in the pros and cons of each. Now we're not gonna. I mean, I did a full research on it since the time restraint is here, and I'm not trying to be too long in the tooth about this. I'm going to cover a couple of the pros and couple of the cons for each. But what I will do, I will have the entire research did that I did on this particular subject, and it will be on the description. It will be on the description, so you can have a opportunity to look at it yourself. I also did a little presentation where I'm going to click on in a few moments, and even though the presentation is going to go by fast, a little faster than I want it to be, but it will give you a clear cut idea, and you can always stop it, pause it, and read it for yourself. So, without further ado, let's get into the subject matter. So, live stream DJing, of course, we know how popular it has become since 2020, since the pandemic, when everything shut down. I mean, when I said everything, there was, during that particular time, there was nothing going on. No clubs, no festivals, no events, no weddings. I mean, any place where a DJ perform, as far as an outside gig, there was nothing to be found. So I would have to say a large number of DJs had to adapt. And live streaming was one of the avenues that I saw myself that DJs was able to adapt. I can say the first live stream that I saw was Louis Vega. He was streaming on Facebook at the time. But then when Facebook started getting stricter and stricter and start not only muting the music, they start just banning it for copyright purposes. Then Louis Vega moved over to Twitch. And when he made that move, his followers moved with him. Now, I will say, and I cite Facebook, that was a very bad error on your part. But we're not gonna go there. That'll be a subject for another time. But while Louis was playing on Twitch, you had other big name DJs that joined the fray. You have David Morales, you had DJ Spin, you even have um, techno master Carl Cox was doing it. You also had hip hop DJs like DJ Jaxie Jeff and Scratch Bastard. You had those DJs, and believe it or not, today, even though things has opened up, festivals has opened up, clubs and venues has opened up, events has opened up, some of those, I would say the majority of those DJs that were playing live stream still does it till this day. I mean, I know that David Morales still has his Sunday Mass going on. I know DJ Spin still plays on his Sundays. He also has another segment that he does on Tuesdays. I know once in a while Louis Vega will pop up and do a live stream. Sometimes he'll do it on location where he is, or if he comes back to New York, he'll do like a special event in his studio. Who else? I think those are the main ones that I know for certain that's still doing live stream. And the reason I will say this is because live streaming has been a great tool not only to hone in your DJ skills, it it's a great development tool. You can be as creative as you want to. You can you learn the logistics of promoting yourself. You um, you learn how to play with other DJs from all over the world, and that's another good thing about live streaming. You reach everyone across the board, whether it's your DJ peers or people who's chatting and happen to be chatting and listening. And some people who does listen in, they probably don't have time to chat because they could be lurking. That means they could be working during the day and things that nature. And since most people now are working from home, that makes it even more of a great thing for DJs. And it also gives DJs a great number of exposure. I mean, me, for example, through because I was DJing on Twitch, one of the DJs who I found out that's from Chicago, he invited me to play on his birthday. So I had my first live gig in 2024, and and I also have other gigs that's coming down the pipe, this year sometime in the summer. So if anybody tells you that live streaming won't get you to a certain gig, I will tell them that is absolutely false. It will. It just takes the right people who listen to you, enjoy what you're playing, and would like to see you live. Now, of course, if you're a DJ and you really want to sink your teeth in actually getting out there. There's nothing more rewarding as playing at a live gig. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're opening DJ or headliner or you're the closing DJ. You know, playing in front of the crowd is so therapeutic and so exciting. I mean, I know me personally, when I play out and I get to see people dance to when I'm playing, it gives that great feeling for me. And then it also keeps me in tune, making certain the tracks that I play that will keep them on the dance floor, because that's that's one of the tricky, sticky parts of gigs, of doing a live gig. You got to make sure that no matter what position you're in, you make sure that people are still interested in what you're playing, because if you lose that interest, it's hard to get them back, and especially when you're doing a live gig, it's very hard. Now, like I said, I'm going to only touch base on just a couple of the pros and cons for each. So I'm not going to, I don't want to keep everybody on too long. I mean, this could be a long one. So, first of all, we're going to first start with the pros of live stream. Now, one of the pros is global reach, which is live streaming allows DJs to reach audiences worldwide, breaking geographical barriers and expanding their fan base. Now, I can vouch for that, because I can say within I started on Twitch. I say about 2020, when I that's when I was with another I was in a partnership at the time, and then when that partnership dissolved, I went on my own, and I was within between last year and this year, I have gained at least over 700 plus followers, and that number is still growing. Plus, I have joined a couple of DJ communities as well, which allows more exposure for myself. So, and so so when we're talking about global reach, we're talking about people from all across the globe. I have chatted with DJs and also people who has followed me on the chat from all walks of life. Excuse me. We're talking about people from Japan, Australia, Europe, um, Southeast Asia, Asia. I mean, you name it. Everywhere across the globe, people are tuning in and listening or chatting or seeing and chatting, while you playing your music. And it's a good thing to know that you can reach so many people, you know, just by going live stream at your little small little mini studio. So now the second pro is accessibility. DJs can easily set up live streams from their home or studios, eliminating the need for travel and venue bookings. Now, my my little home studio is consists of my laptop, which I use for my streaming, and that's what you're seeing through me, and I use OBS. My the mic is connected to my controller, which is the DDJ 800. I have a desktop that I use for my notes, and also use for my DJ software, which is Recordbox. And to and when I'm playing, I record all my sets, and I use my second laptop and Audacity to record all my sets. So that's my little studio, of course, with my lights, and then I have my little strobe here, and I have a little disco ball light that I use, for effects, and then that particular light that's back of me. I can change the color of it, so give that little underground club effect. So like I said, so I do all these here at my little place, and that's all it takes. As long as you have the proper internet connection, which I always suggest live stream to always connect with a hard line. Hard line is is where you will get your best connection. I mean, Wi-Fi, it's topsy turvy and it's not reliable. I always said do your hard line, and also, not counting the cams. I have 3 cams today. You are seeing me on a cam on my laptop, but when I do my streaming, I have a cam that faces my controller, and I also have a cam that faces me to my left side. You don't see those, but those are the 3 cams that I use when I do my live streaming. Now we're gonna go with the cons. Now, one of the cons is technical challenges. Live stream can be prone to technical issues such as connectivity issues, audio video syncing problems, and software glitches, which can disrupt the flow of the set. And that is true. I mean, I have personally have this have discovered some technical difficulties when I have streamed. That's why to try to avoid the number one, always update your operating system. When it's time to update it, you update it, and because sometimes, most of the times, it can be updated before your schedule is set. Or if you have a schedule set later on that day, you make sure you do your updates that morning. So if you have a slower computer, like my 2 laptops is kind of old, it takes a little more time for the updates to come up. Other than my laptop is mostly current, so it updates a little faster. OBS, make sure you update OBS when it says to update. I remember it was one incident. I was playing, and I decided to, well, I'll update my OBS later. And what happened was I got disconnected during my set, and that is terrible. And that's one of the major hiccups about when you're doing live stream. you know you can't you know your you can't get disconnected. It can happen through internet, or it can happen through OBS. You just gotta keep up with the flow. And also, when it comes to audio and video, what I usually try to do is do a dry run. Like, pick a day, before your schedule live stream, and just do a test run. Make sure that the audio and video is 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 doing what it's supposed to do, and then you'll be ready to go. Now the second con is logistic challenges. Okay, organizing live gigs involve. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Organizing live gigs involve logistic challenges such as venue. Did I do that right? I think I. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm making sure that I have this correct. 'Cause I may not. You know what? I don't. I'm sorry. Here we go. Number two. Excuse me. I apologize for that. Number two, limited energy exchange. Performing to a virtual audience lacks the energy exchange and atmosphere of a live gig. Potentially impacts the DJ's performance and motivation. Now, this con I don't agree with, because when I play, I always show enthusiasm. I dance while I listen to my music. I make sure I interact with with those who's watching me. So I make sure I give shout outs, on the chat, so I recognize who's on the chat. So those type of things that I do to keep the crowd engaged. So you can do a lot of you can interact, you can move, you can dance, you can do what you can do, keep yourself energized, because when people see you, loving what you plan, they're gonna love it too. So that con, I don't understand why it's a con, but I kind of get it, because there are probably certain DJs that probably don't have that energy, because some could be still learn the ropes of live streaming. Some could be just just a shy person. I mean, it is what it is, but you have to break yourself out of that. And I always believe the more times you play live for your live stream, the more that shyness will come out, and then your real personality will shine through. So now, so we're done with the pros and cons of live stream. Okay, cool. I'm going to do the time. Okay, now live gigs. Now, I'm just gonna read this. It said live gigs has been the life blood of DJs for decades, providing opportunity to connect with audience in real time and create unforgettable experiences, which is true. But see, the caveat I'm looking at now, since there's been a shortage of clubs and bars and venues, and that's been going on way before the pandemic. The pandemic just intensified everything. And you also have to understand that these promoters and venues and club owners and festival organizers are still trying to make up for the revenue that they lost. And so chances are, if you're a young and upcoming DJ and you want to try to get a gig, maybe get a little spot in those festivals, that the chance of you doing that is going to be slim, because since they're trying their best to make up for the money that they lost, they're gonna try to hire as many big name DJs that's going to draw a crowd, that's going to spend the money as possible. And you you can't get mad at that, because it's a business decision. I mean, they have to try to make their money back, or at least most of their money back. I'm not certain they're gonna make everything that they lost, but I'm sure if they, as the years go on, they will start catching up and making at least a majority of it back. So that's what I want to say about again. So we're gonna do with the pros of playing at live gigs. Okay, one of the pros is energetic atmosphere. Performing at a live gig provides DJs with a vibrant atmosphere, filling with energy, incitement, and interaction with the crowd, enhancing the overall experience. Now that is 100% true, because when you playing out, there's no hiding. I mean, you certain things you can probably get away with live streams. You cannot get away with when you're playing at a live gig. You got to make sure you have everything, where you have all your checks and balances there. You making sure that you playing the right music. You have to read that crowd. If you feel that crowd's energy is dropping a bit, you gotta make sure you adjust your track selection, so you can get the upbeat music, so you can get that crowd back, get back pumping up, so they can get them back energized and dancing. So yes, there's a lot of nuances to go with playing live. And And the more you do play live, as far as live gigs, the better you will understand that nuance. Okay, number two of the pro is immediate feedback. DJs receive immediate feedback from the audience's reaction, allowing them to gauge the crowd's response and adjust their sets according to in real time. That's what I was talking about before. And that is 100% true because you have to be able to engage with your crowd. Make sure that you're interacting with them, they interact with you. They feed what their reactions feed and fuel you to do what you need to do as far as playing is concerned. Now we're gonna go with the cons. So one of the cons is here we go. One of the cons is logistic challenges. Okay, organizing gigs involve logistic challenges such as venue bookings, equipment setup, travel arrangements, and coordinating with event organizers, which can be time consuming and stressful. Well, that's right because a lot of hands get into trying to play at a gig. So you have to know that there's going to be challenges and there could be hiccups when you're on your way towards that gig. Like for instance, I was trying to play at Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati or Columbus this year, and unfortunately, I didn't get the gig. So they told me to go ahead and try to re-sign up for next year, and they start their re-sign in September, and I'm gonna do that. I mean, because I would like to play out there and let people enjoy what I do. So I'm definitely gonna try that. Now, number two is dependence on external factors. DJs are subject to external factors such as venue capacity, weather conditions, and audience demographics, which can impact the success of a gig. Yes, because you have to always try to know firsthand A, what kind of crowd is going to be, B, what kind of music that certain crowd enjoys mostly, and see what kind of people who comes there. Because remember, when it comes, especially underground music, you get everybody that you get a very mulligan stew on everybody from all walks around, all races, all creeds, or colors, or sexual orientations, and things of that nature that's coming together just to dance. But you still have to make sure you know what kind of music to play. And also, depending on the position that you're playing. If you're an opening DJ, you got to play a certain way. If you're a headline, you got to play a certain way. And if you're a closing DJ, you have to play a certain way. So you have to know everything that's going on around there before you start playing. Now, like I said, I'm just going to show you. Here's the presentation that I have with live streaming pros and cons. And there they are. Like I said, you can pause and check out those pros and cons yourself. I also have the one by playing live gigs, pros and cons for that. There it is. You can see that. Those are the pros there, and then there's all the cons right there, and you can check those out as well. Let me get back here. So just to pretty much close it out. Now, the question is, which makes sense for today's DJs. Now, now this is my opinion. You don't have to take it, leave it as is, but this is my opinion. My opinion with today, the way today is going on, especially the number of clubs and bars are closing, in large numbers, live stream is the best way to go today. And especially if you're a young and upcoming DJ that wants to try to get their name out there and get people to listen to their music and get people to see what they can do and see how variety of music they can play. Live stream is the best way to go. Trust me, it has worked out for me through the times that I've been live streaming. I mean, I've been doing on live radio since early 2010. I would say 2011, 2012. So I know the dynamic of how this is going. Live stream is just another step above. And also at that time I was just a host and a broadcaster. Now I am a DJ, and I learned firsthand the power of live stream, and also online radio. I still have an online radio show that I do based in Germany that I do monthly. So, you know, the more I feel that I think the more you do live stream and do online radio shows, the more you get exposed, and you never know. You will you never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. And somebody may want you to play at their event or club or venue, and there you go. So, but unless you get yourself out there and do it, you'll never know what can happen. So I hope this was a teaching moment. I definitely wanted to make sure I did this for you. Like I said, I will have the entire pros and cons of this subject on the description, in the description box below, so you can read it yourself. You can also check out the presentation that I posted up here as well, and you can pause it and you can read that for yourself as well if you want to go through the subscription. So please follow me. You follow me on my socials on the House That Speaks. You can check out my merch here. You can go to housethatspeaksdesigns.com. You can also go to my storefront that's in T Public / House That Speaks. Check out, like I said, check out all my socials. Just you can go Google it on the House That Speaks, and you can check me out. You can also, if you want to see me play on some live shows, you can check out my Twitch channel, which is House That Speaks _ and you can also check out what I do here on YouTube. My Monday night rants I try to do every other Monday, but for this time I'm gonna do 2 consecutive Mondays so I can keep up. So I can catch up to the one Monday that I wasn't able to do. So you can catch these shows here on my YouTube channel, and I appreciate it. Also, like, share, subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so you can know when I'll be posting these types of videos. Until then, this is House That Speaks. I'll be signing off now. Enjoy your work week, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.